What is authenticity in country music? And why is it so important? And should it be? This is a question many love to ask, but the answer isn't simple. The authenticity question is intertwined with the history of country music and how it resonates with fans, or doesn't. First, country music is somewhat unique in how so-called authenticity plays a major role. Country fans want to believe the words coming from their favorite performers, whether they wrote them or not. They want to buy into the idea that artists are singing what they live and living what they sing, and that there isn't any act or put on happening. Unlike rock and pop, country fans don't necessarily want their favorite artists to be larger than life. They want to think their stars are just like them, meaning everyday people who happen to find their way onto the stage, in part because of their authenticity and character. In some respects, and maybe somewhat ironically, this is one of the elements that country music shares with hip-hop, where street cred is similar to authenticity and weighs so heavily. What grants an artist authenticity? In country music, it could be where they're from. Are they from the Deep South, Texas or Oklahoma, Bakersfield, California or the interior West, Wyoming or Montana? Are they from a rural area as opposed to an urban one? Did they grow up on a farm or ranch, meaning they know the country life? Do they live in the country now? Where is their family from? Did they work on a farm or ranch in their life? Or did they work a blue-collar job in a factory or out in the oil field? Have they ever been arrested, been to jail, been to prison, served in the military? All of these experiences could confer the kind of real-world authenticity that gives rise to the real and raw stories so many country songs convey and the kind of sentiments country fans crave. But one very important element that you must understand about country music authenticity is that none of these things are a hard requirement. All of the aforementioned things can help tell the story of a country musician and convey levels of credibility behind their music and to their personal story. But you can also have none of these things in your biography and still successfully write and sing country songs. You can also do this while being 100% authentic. Ultimately, authenticity is not about secondary concerns about where an artist is from or who they are. Again, all of these little resume bullet points can help, but in the end, the ultimate litmus test is if an artist is being authentic to themselves. Are they singing about their life experiences, or are they simply synthesizing the experiences of others and trying to pass them off in country songs because they know it's what the audience wants to hear? That is why songwriting is so important in country music, and why ideally, country artists write or co-write their own songs. But even this isn't a hard and fast requirement. Even if a song is completely fictional to both the writer and the singer, if you can still close your eyes and believe it because it was written and performed with heart and close approximations to personal experiences, it can still be authentic. There are country artists from New York City. Whitley Morgan might be one of the most authentic modern outlaw artists around, and he's originally from Flint, Michigan, where many folks from the South migrated in the last century, and the locals have been working in automobile factories for generations. Canada and Australia have plenty of country and Western artists with real-world authenticity behind their songs. Europe has bred multiple amazing country performers. One of the most accurate depictions of traditional country in the modern context comes from a band called the Countryside of Harmonica Sam out of Sweden. Scandinavia is especially prone to breeding quality country performers. Sometimes you simply have a human soul that is born somewhere outside of country music's traditional homeland, and in circumstances that no one would ever equate to being a country music lifestyle. But like a lost child, they find their way to country music because it resonates with them like nothing else, and gives them a sense of home and place. Even these artists can be authentic as they sing from their heart about their personal experiences, including about feeling like foreigners to their place and time as an old-school country fan. Authenticity is often criticized and frowned upon by some who either don't have it themselves or see it as an element of gatekeeping. But they often misunderstand the real definition of authenticity or its true importance to country music. Without authenticity, you're simply engaging in country cosplay, which ironically also has its history in country music. Since the very beginning of the genre, There have been performers who performatively act more country than they actually are. This comes from the vaudevillian history of early country music, and stage variety shows such as the Grand Ole Opry, and TV shows such as Hee Haw. In some respects, comedy, parody, and cosplay are essential parts to the country music story, which, yes, in their own strange way, in turn makes them authentic. So what is inauthentic? Not being yourself, not being honest about your personal history, trying to be someone you aren't, or simply giving the audience what you think they want to hear as opposed to what is in your heart. You might fool the masses and even be quite successful without authenticity. But time has a way of sifting out the good and the bad, the real and the inauthentic in country music. The more authentic you are, the more likely your music and your legacy will be successful in country music in the long term. Who are some of the most authentic performers in country music history? Two great examples would be outlaw country songwriter Billy Joe Shaver and underground country legend James Hand. These two men embody the type of realness that so many other country musicians attempt to live up to and emulate. What makes country music so special and so unique in the popular music space is how when you listen to a performer sing, you know it's coming straight from their heart and their lived experience. Or at least, they make you believe it is. It's that connection that elevates the country music listening experience beyond mere entertainment, and why authenticity is something to revere and at least attempt to preserve within the country music medium.